joining TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Communion Sunday where I share health tips with you guys to help you get healthy and feel good, feel better about your life. And today we are talking water, okay? So, you guys have heard me talk about my water distiller before. So, this is what we're discussing today. So, water. Why is water so important? They say the body can only survive without water for 3 days. You can survive without food for weeks, but water, 3 days, because your body is 70% liquid. That's what your blood is. It's liquid. You need water. Your organs need water. They need water to hydrate them. They need water to lubricate them. Your body needs water to flush out toxins and free radicals and things like that in it. Your body needs the water. Now, Toya, why do you do distilled water? Well, I do distilled water because that's all it is. There's nothing else in it. It's just distilled water. Spring water is really good, but do you know where that spring came from? You know where it's located? Is it actual spring water? We don't know. And that's why I don't do spring water. People talk about the alkaline water and what's another one? The ionized water. You don't need all of that. The more you do to your water, the more you put into it, the more your body has to strip it down. So the less your body has to strip it down, the quicker it can get inside, the quicker it can do what it needs to do, and that's it. Okay? It just works out better for you. You're not stressing your body. You're not overworking it. You're just giving it what it needs. Water should only hydrate, lubricate, and flush. That's all it needs to do. So if your water is trying to do more than that, then you probably wasting money. I'm sorry. There's no other way to put it. You wasting money. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Dr. Emoto or Emuto. I might have pronounced it wrong. I'll put a video link below for one of his experiments where they talk about his experiment. What he did with water, which is what I want to get into today, is he put negative comments on the water and then he put positive comments on the water and he threw it in the freezer. The positive comments had a nice, beautiful crystalline pattern, like a snowflake. The ones with the negative words written on them, they had this chaotic, sharp, and, not so pretty looking crystal formalizations, which means our words have power, not only for us, but even including the food and the water that we consume. So one of the things after hearing that, one of the things I had started doing after I started doing my distilled water, because I've been doing this for about 4 years, 5 years. Yeah, maybe about 5 years I've been doing distilled water. That sounds about right. We'll go with 5 years that I've been doing this. And when I found out about not when I found out, but when somebody reminded me about his experiment, one of the things I started doing is talking to my water before I empty it out into the 5-gallon jugs I have. And it's just something simple I say to it to basically charge the water, okay? In India, they do the same thing. They take great pride and practice in what they do to their water when they treat it for their drinking. Now, I know they say, but Toy, you can't drink the water in India. I know. I ain't never been to India, so I can't really comment. I can only comment on what I've seen in videos. And in the videos I've seen from them, they take pride in it. They put it in copper containers. It's a whole water thing. Just look it up when it comes to India. But for me, I just keep it simple. Distilled water, and I talk to it, and I pour it in. So one of the things I do, and I'm going to show you, this is exactly what I do. I said, thank you for your energy, healing, for your flesh, for your love. I thank you. And that's what I say. I thank you and I love you. Thank you. Thank you. And then I pour it out. That's it. So let me get to that. I'm going to go ahead and pour this out. I already got it ready. And then I'll show you guys what the inside of the distiller looks like. This is one of those times I really wish they had a scratch and smell, so you guys can smell what comes out of this water, because I just use tap water. You put tap water in and distilled water comes out. I used to have a particles tester, but of course it broke. And what the particle tester does is it tells you how many particles are in your water. For however many, like ounces or something like that, it'll tell you. Oh, okay. For a second there, y'all, I thought I wasn't recording. But it'll tell you how much particles are actually in your water if you get a tester. And they find that a lot of people were saying that for their tap water, the particles in it, as far as what is actually in it, was like 200 something, 300, even 400 in some places. Okay, 400 particles in your glass of water. So it's not clean, crystal clear. When you get to distilled water, even if you buy the store-bought stuff, but when you get to the distilled water, it may be 15 or less. Most of the time, like when I was testing mine on a regular, it was about, the most I found was about 5 or 7 particles compared to 400, 300. When I tested the water here in Michigan, because again, I'm in Warren, so we use Detroit water, it was 258 to anywhere between 278 particles, which is better than some areas, but still, that's too many for me. There have been studies where people have actually switched over to distilled water, and some of their health issues have improved because of the distilled water that they're using. So I'm going to show you guys what this look like. Y'all see that? Let me see if I can tip it over so you can really see in there. You see that star-like shape in there? That's chemicals. That's chemicals. Here, let me turn this light on. Okay, there you go. You see that? See that crusty part down there? All of that was in the water. Just regular tap water. That's what's in it. And I wish you guys could smell it. It smells like chemicals, okay? Straight up chemical. So I wish you could smell it. Wait, hold on, let me set this back up. Okay, I wish you guys could really smell it. Now the good part about it is you don't have to clean this out every single time, because distilled water is basically steam. That's all it is steam water. So you pour your water in here, put the top on, hit the button, and it's all good to go. Now you like, Toya, you ain't clean that out. No, I don't have to. The one that you see in there was from that. I just cleaned it out. So that was just from one batch that you saw in there. That was just from that one batch of water that you saw. That was the chemicals and the residue that was left over in that water. And again, I wish you could smell it. It's a very chemical smell, industrial. It's disgusting. But what I was going to say is you put it in there. The way distilled water works is it's basically your steam vapors. So the principle behind it, or the ideal behind the distilled water, is the steam carries up and it's just the water. So the particles and the chemicals and things like that they have in the water is too heavy to float up to the top. So the only water that floats up to the top is just strictly water. There's nothing else in it because the particles are too heavy. They fall. Okay? So if you can imagine like a strainer, I guess you can say. Like I have this sitting here, like a strainer. You put stuff in here. Well, this can rise to the top, but the other particles are too small. They fall. Well, kind of the same idea, where the particles in the water are too heavy, so they fall out of the water. Like the water would fall out the strainer, the particles fall out of the water, and the water is what rises and it steams, and then it goes through its process. And because I don't know the mechanics behind it, I just know how to push this button. I know I fill it up, push the button, and change the carbon filter that's in the little tube. That's the limit of mine as far as this machine goes. But that's what it does. So it collects the steam, and the steam is what you are actually drinking. So it's nothing in it. Okay? It's like I said, well, not nothing, but you know, you might have that less than 10 particles in your glass of water, as opposed to the 200 and something, 300 and something, 400 and something that you might have with tap water. So that's the importance of water. That's why it's important. That's why you need to be careful about what you drink. That's why I'm picky about it. Like I tell somebody in a second, I'm bougie about my water. I remember being at work one day and I forgot my water, which was detrimental to me, okay? Because I drink a lot of water, and it was detrimental. And I was so thirsty. Like, oh my God, I was so thirsty. I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and try this tap water. I tried the tap water. I think I took 2 sips. I was like, I can't do it, because I've drank distilled water so long that I can taste everything in the water. I can taste all the nastiness that's in the water. I can taste it. So somebody who's been drinking tap water all their life and has never really had anything different, they might not tell the difference. They might not taste it. They might not know. But I can taste the difference. And I'm sure some of you guys have, some of you guys have ran bath water or your shower water and you can smell the chlorine in it. Okay? And then the other thing is like I said, I've been doing this for a few years at the time when I found out, or when it hits me. You know, they clean the pipes. They have to clean the water pipes that go through the city and deliver the water. They have to clean those pipes out. How do you think they clean them out? They put the chemicals to clean out the water, out the pipes, in the water. And that water ends up in your house. I'm just saying, y'all, don't be mad at me. I'm just telling y'all. So, I do distilled water. This machine is less than $300. I think it was $289 on Amazon. I got the Mega Home because, of course, that was the best one. There was another one that's not as good, but second best, I guess you can say. I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of the popular ones. When you look up distilled water, they're the first two that come up. Mega Home is more expensive, but it's better because when I looked at the reviews, it was the better one. And that's the why I went with that choice of getting Mega Home. This is my second one in 5 years. Of course, I didn't clean the other one. Like, this part needs to be cleaned out. Like, you really need to get the air in your air can or something, take it apart and really clean it out. So I did that with this one, so I'm hoping this one lasts a little longer. The first one lasts about 2 years, so this is working on 2 years now. So it's still going strong. So, but yeah. And I just use regular tap water. I got some jugs that I got at the time at Kmart. Kmart don't exist no more. But you can get it all online at Amazon. You know, the jugs don't cost that much. You can get you don't even have to get the fancy dispensers. Let me show you mine. Okay, so I'm going to show you my dispenser. You see this? It doesn't do the hot and cold, but I have a stove. I can do my own hot and cold. I don't need my dispenser to do the hot and cold. I can put the water in the refrigerator, or I can heat it up on the stove. I have a kettle. I don't need all of that. I don't need that extra electric bill. But if you don't care about that electric bill, get you one. This one, it doesn't cost that much because of the fact that it's not electric. So that's why I do distilled water. That's why I distill my own water. And I tell you, I love it. Everybody that comes over, like I have my niece especially, she's like, Auntie, I love your water. Your water's so good. Because it's distilled. There's nothing in it. It's just water. And that's what you want. You want just water and not all those toxins and craps in your water that you're drinking. And it's cheaper to me. I mean, you can go and buy bottled water, but then you're wasting a whole lot of plastic, and that's a lot of money going on and on out the door every single time, when I can just do this at home. And I use this for cooking with. I use it to give to the dogs. I drink it. I use it for making my ice. We use it in everything. Like, I don't use tap water for anything other than rinsing stuff off. That's it. And doing my dishes. That's it. Outside of that, we use the distilled water. So, love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this. If you got something out of it, like, share, and subscribe. And have a wonderful week. Love you.